Did you know that on average most men only receive around 5 to 10% capacity of their capacity for pleasure out of their sexuality, and that's normal. That's the norm. And if you're wondering what it takes to get past that, it's actually quite simple. And if you're suffering from premature ejaculation or have trouble getting it up or keeping it up, you have prostate surgery, any of those things, the way forward from all those places is also the way to get past that block of 10%. And it's actually quite simple, because it's our natural way of being. It's our natural state of how we are as men, and we've lost that. And bringing Tantra into your relationship is as simple about as just reconnecting with yourself. Like everything that we teach, everything that we do is natural. It's who you are. You don't need expensive tablets, pills, therapy or any of that sort of stuff. It's just stop and connect with what's in you naturally. It's how you're born. And if you're wondering what on earth I mean by saying, most men only get max 10%, ejaculation and orgasm are two separate functions because they happen at the same time. Most men think that they're the same thing. They're not. They're very separate. And when a man is focused on ejaculating or coming or trigger sensitive or numb, can't get it up and can't feel anything, it's his way of staying emotionally safe. And that's what it's all about, is that you've got a lot of feeling going on that you're repressing. And if you come quickly, or you're numb, or you can't get it up, that's your body's way, subconsciously, of keeping you emotionally safe. And the pathway forward is around dealing with your emotional issues, but also too some physical things that you can actually do around how to get more sensitivity and feeling in your sexuality with your partner, or if you're on your own, you can still do this with your self-pleasuring. So the way forward is actually quite simple, but it looks a little bit different for each person, depending on what your issue is. And these are the things that we actually deal with. And if you're if you're struggling with trigger sensitivity, it is simple as just when you get to a point of no return, if you said 10 is the point of no return and 1 is sort of nothing's happening, is when you get to sort of like a 6 or a 7 is to stop and take some deep breaths, and to just simply just breathe in, take some deep breaths, and then to start again. And you do this 3 or 4 times, and each time you do this, what happens is that it takes the pressure away, the energy away from your ejaculation, and the deep breathing actually spreads it right through your body. And this is what builds up your orgasmic pleasure, your orgasmic energy. And it is that simple. And if you're suffering from numbness, or you can't get it up, there's usually an emotional block. And what happens when you take a tablet or something like that is that it just bypasses the body's physical way of stopping. It bypasses that, but the emotional block is still there, and after a while the tablets don't work. And if you've had prostate surgery, obviously your issues are a bit different, but your emotionality is still there and still working. And one of the things that a woman wants most from her man is to feel his open heart. And if you want to feel more of your sexual pleasure, get past that 10% wall, it is simple as being in your heart, opening your heart. And if you're suffering from numbness or can't get it up or anything like that, try being vulnerable. I know it sounds a bit woo-woo and a bit out there, but that actually really does work. And if you're recovering from prostate surgery, it's the same thing, is to try your vulnerability and express yourself from your heart and connect with your partner in that place. Obviously there's a lot more to that, but that's the beginning point. And we do a lot of work with this, and we can do simply, obviously, in one of our workshops or one of our face-to-face sessions is ideally the best way. But if you're living a long way away and you can't travel, Skype is also a really good start. And if you're not sure, the first part of the Skype session is free, and you can say no, or yeah, okay, this will work. And there's no obligation. So just something to think. And if you want to know more about us, just type in www.oztantra.com.